Okay. So, yeah, tell us what you did. What happened with the barbecue?
Yeah, so everybody's been going through months of lockdowns. The first time they locked us down, it was my restaurants. We complied. We wanted to do the right thing. We followed all the rules. We mandated masks in the restaurant, the whole thing. It didn't take very long until I realized that something fishy was happening, and it was not something that I stood for. When they locked us down the second time in the fall, I couldn't stand for it. So I took my location in Etobicoke would have been the first to fail because it's really big, really expensive, and it can't support just a takeout establishment. It's 7,000 square feet. You need bodies and tables. So it was going to go bankrupt anyway. There's no way I would have been able to keep it. So I said, all right, let's throw it out for the cause. Let's open up in protest and let's shine a light on these tyrants, really, who are going to come in and shut us down. So I took it all the way, right through the police presence being there. The first day we opened, it was successful. Hundreds of people showed up. Had a small protest outside. The police didn't really bother us, but at the end of the service, they put a closure notice from Toronto Public Health on the door. So Eileen de Villa claimed to be the lawful occupant of the property based on her authority. So they didn't use any laws. This took us a few weeks to really understand the process.
They kind of circumnavigated the law?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And they basically just claimed authority to take it. So the second day they charged us with the Reopening Ontario Act. That's the charge that I wanted because that's the one that I want to fight in court because that's the one that won't hold up, and all of the emergency orders stem from this Reopening Ontario Act, right? But I promised a lot of people that I wouldn't back down. So we opened up the third day, which was on the Thursday. And that's when they had, there was over 250 police on site. I got the bill for it, $180,000. They want me to pay. And we just went in through the back unit. There was one girl, I haven't spoken with her since actually. She's such a beauty. She helped me cut a hole in the wall in between the two units. And the cops just thought we were messing around in the back. But we kicked the drywall in and we brought all the meat in through the front. They had locked the building from the inside with some brackets. So we kicked through those brackets too. We busted it open. People came in and ate. So the last day was just because I promised people I wouldn't back down. I got arrested that day, taken away, spent 30 hours in custody on a mischief charge and obstructing the police. So I got mischief for kicking down through the bracket that they installed on my door.
Your own restaurant.
Which they didn't have jurisdiction over to begin with. And then for obstructing police. And again, the police had no jurisdiction to be there because it was all done through Eileen de Villa's closure order under Section 20. The enforcement was through Section 24 of the Health Protection and Promotion Act. And there's nowhere in that act does it say she can become the legal occupant of a building. All they were allowed to do that day was physically remove me from the property, let me go, and prohibit me from coming back in. There's no grounds whatsoever to use police, let alone 253 police is what's on the bill. So they shut down the street at both ends. The whole thing was lined with police cars. And John Tory came out and said that was to keep the traffic down in the neighborhood. And they effectively gridlocked the whole street with police cars. Absolutely insane.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah.
So what's the reaction been then so far?
Well, I was a pretty big restaurant chain. We had a lot of customers. We've polarized them. You know, people are on one side of this issue or the other. We've lost about 50% of our business since then, but I'm okay with that because we've gained a real loyal following. My business it's a toss-up whether they'll survive or not. It depends on if we get any damages in the courts. We've had lots of support. We have lots of people thinking that we're totally crazy. They're still sleeping. That's okay. They'll come around soon, I'm sure. Someone set up a GoFundMe for me, which is now up $335,000. So we're very, very well equipped for the legal fight.
And they haven't shut that down yet?
No, they tried.
Okay,
they tried.
Okay, yeah, because
the leftists got on
that,
it. Yeah, the leftists got on there. They tried to shut it down. They got a bunch of signatures on a petition. It's kind of funny. There's a petition to shut down my GoFundMe, and then someone else started a petition to shut down the petition to shut down my GoFundMe. So that was kind of cool to see this all unfolding.
Sure.
We have the court challenges coming up. I've got my criminal charges in 2 days. And then we have some of the civil stuff coming up at the end of the month. And that's when we get to go and fight the charges, the Reopening Ontario Act. Because they're using that as evidence for their closure order.
Yeah.
So that's when the big thing happens. And you're actually the first interview I've done where I've known that that's happening. I'm going to be representing myself. I have a big legal team behind me, tons of really smart people, paralegals, lawyers, people who have represented themselves in court before. So I'm going to have going to be very knowledgeable by the end of this on how all the court proceedings work.
Yep.
And I'll get an opportunity to cross-examine their so-called expert witnesses from public health, and we're going to be talking about the PCR tests. We're going to be talking about the ICU capacities. We're going to be talking about the transmissibility of this disease. And unlike Hudson Bay's or HBC's lawsuit, we're not just letting the courts take their word. We're going to cross-examine them. We're going to bring in experts. And you know as well as I do, none of that's going to hold up under any level of scrutiny.
Now, I can't imagine it's going to be televised.
It'll be public. It'll be a Zoom court. I'll be sharing the link for sure.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
So we'll get that out there for everyone to see.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. So is there anything else that you want to add that?
We are all essential. Check this out. We are all essential.ca. We're rallying all the small business owners together. This is one place where we can inform you about the laws, how to stand your ground with bylaw. If you're ready to reopen or thinking about reopening, you'll have all the resources that you need there. You'll be able to communicate with me, other experts, businesses that have opened up in protests also who they have not had the same reaction that I had at my place. They haven't been shut down. Their places haven't been closed. Really, we're encouraging people to collect those notices, fines, summons under the Reopening Ontario Act. Collect those like a badge of honor, because we're going to take that whole Reopening Ontario Act down. By the time you have your court date, it'll probably already be finished. From my case, and if not from mine, one of the number of other constitutional challenges that are coming in the next few weeks.
Awesome. That's
Yeah,
perfect.
we are all essential.ca. Check it out. If you're a small business owner or you want to help volunteer to get that message out, check it out. Awesome, brother. Okay. Say.
Yep, great.